I have cerebral palsy quadriplegia, and that basically means that the messages from my brain don't get to where I want them in my body, so my movements are jolted, and that's the reason why I'm a wheelchair user. The reason why I have Eli is because he just makes me that bit more independent, so he bridges the gap for me between what I can and can't do. I was worried about the whole concept of having a working dog because I didn't have the knowledge back then, and I was worried that perhaps it might be a little bit mean to have a working dog doing things for you all the time and for less chance for them to be playful. So when they asked me what kind of dog I wanted, I said I wanted one with an opinion and a bit of an attitude and a bit cheeky, so that he or she could still be a dog. And basically in Eli I got all of the above plus a bit extra, so I was pleased.
And again,
Eli has a personality that can't be missed. He is very cheeky, very playful, very intelligent, but almost sometimes too intelligent. He uses it for his advantage, so he likes to tease people a lot. He's great, basically. He's very entertaining, he makes me laugh. And then obviously on top of that, I've got the bonus of that he can help me out. So I've got the best of every scenario, really. We were at the training centre about to finish the residential course, and I'd asked one of the trainers to help me open the door, and she just looked at me and she went, "No, I can't, but your dog can." So I went through the commands with her, and then with that he went to open the door and he closed it behind me as well. And because it's the first time I'd ever done it in my entire life, I then proceeded to burst into tears just because it was so overwhelming that, you know, I'd reached my late 20s, you know, before I'd even opened and closed the door, and then I just suddenly realised that I could do it every single day for the rest of my life if I wanted to, and it was just too big. And I just sat there and flooded, and I'm not a crier, I don't, you know, I find it actually quite hard to cry. So the fact that I cried was like a massive thing, and all the trainers were like, "Oh my goodness." I guess I was just overwhelmed with the freedom, basically. But it was great. It's something I never forget.
Ready? Check it. Yay!
With my disability, one of the side effects is that I drop things all the time. So you're permanently saying, "Please can you help me, please can you help me," and almost apologising for the fact that you've done it. And now with Eli, I always say that I feel guilty if I don't drop something, because he actually enjoys it and he's made it into something positive. Eli is incredibly tidy. He likes everything to be just so. So if, like, I drop a pencil on the floor, then it's no good just being on the table. It's got to be on the table in the right place, in exactly the same line it was in before. And if people's shoes are in the wrong place, he makes a thing about moving them. I don't have an opportunity to not have a place for everything since Eli was in my life. I definitely think he's got a bit of OCD, but in a good way. It makes me chuckle.
Good boy.
In the morning, Eli goes to wake my PA up, and then the first thing he always wants to do after going to the toilet is have his breakfast, because he permanently thinks of his tummy. So my PA puts the breakfast bowl down for him. He comes back into the bedroom to ask me if he can have it before he eats it, and then goes to eat his breakfast, and then comes back into my bedroom with his bowl in his mouth to show me that he's finished. And then he puts his own bowl in the sink to get it washed. And then after that, brings me his collar off the hook for me to put it on while I'm in bed, and he kind of recognises that as the beginning of the day.
Move your head so I can get to your ear. Good boy, that's it, that's it.
I've then got to get up very quickly, otherwise he's not very impressed with the situation. One of the things that Canine Partners teach all their dogs to do is get the post.
Good boy, man.
After I've opened it, obviously we've got an envelope with no place to live in Eli's head.
Open it. Sit, good boy, come here. Sit.
So he asked to put it in the bin.
Which one?
And he goes and does it himself, puts it in the bin and then closes the lid.
Close it. Good lad.
It's got to be tidy, everything. One of the things that I realised I needed to teach him myself was to pick up my cup. But obviously I don't want doggy germs as much as I love Eli. I don't want his germs. So I realised that I had to spend time teaching him to only grab it by the handle, and he does it. But he does it very particular, so if the cup's the wrong way round, he will turn it round with his paw so that he can get to the handle to give it to me. And I'm quite proud of it because it's one of the first ones we did on our own. If the phone rings, he automatically, without me saying anything, just goes to pick up the phone and gives it to me. So if I don't want to take that phone call, it can be a tad difficult because he sometimes presses the answer button by accident. So the person's already on the other end of the phone, so I have to talk to them.
Thank you, Eli. Good lad, hey? Good lad.
Because my wheelchair's quite big, I drive into the car and I get strapped in. So I wondered about 6 months ago whether it would be possible to get Eli to help.
Get it? Good boy, get
and
it.
I genuinely didn't know whether it would be doable.
Man, that's very good.
About 4 months ago, he started to be able to do it, which was incredible. But he doesn't do it if he knows that I've got a PA with me. He only does it if there's no one else there. So he obviously still finds it quite difficult because he tries to get away with not doing it.
Good lad, yeah, good boy, that's the one, good boy.
But when he does do it, he's so chuffed with himself. It's very cute. And obviously, again, it means that I've been able to be that bit more independent.
Good boy, good boy.
The more he does it, the easier it'll become.
That's it, I'm in.
Eventually, he'll just do it because he'll find his own way of making it easier.
Hey, shake hands. You did it. You did it. Good boy.
So he's the ones with the brains, really, not me.
You did it. Good boy.
Each task that I've taught Eli to do is quite special because obviously I've got the memory of him learning it. But there's always one or two that was a glory moment. And for me, it was the post box. Because usually Eli picks up things really quickly, but the post box, for some reason, he found was his difficult one. He couldn't grasp it, and it actually took him a year to learn it, which was the longest it's ever taken him to learn anything. So the day it happened and the first letter went in, I screamed so hard I lost my voice. Like out of happiness, and he knew I was happy, so he was jumping all over me, licking my face and just giving me all the cuddles in the world. And obviously it was right by the post box, so people were giving us very strange looks. Why are you so happy? Why just sitting by a post box? So I dread to think what they thought, but yeah, it was a great day and something that, again, I will never forget because I know how hard it was for him to do. And now he's got it down to a fine art, but I know the effort it took, so it means the world to me. And before that, I'd never posted a letter in my life. It was fantastic. It was amazing. And he knew it, and he knows it every time because every time he's done it, he grins. Eli's quite a mischievous little cheeky monkey. We've got this shop down in town that's a kind of local DIY shop. I go there quite regularly with Eli. So obviously over time they've built a relationship up with him and he makes sure that every time we go past that shop, I go in. He gives them a very warm welcome, and it's actually the place where he found his own dog toy. I was in the shop looking for stuff for myself, and the lower shelf was all the dog toys and dog treats and things like that. I was walking back to the counter, and the lady that knows us quite well, she said, "Oh Lorna, what's Eli got in his mouth?" And I looked down, and he'd picked up one of his own dog toys that he wanted to buy. And obviously, because it had been in his mouth, it now meant I had to buy it, so he got what he wanted. I'm sure he did it on purpose. I'm sure he knows that once it's been in his mouth, it's his, because there's nothing I can do. So he gained a toy, and basically it was for being naughty. Yeah.
Get it up.
And he can also give my wallet to the lady at the cashier, and then help me pay, and then give it back to me so I can put it in my bag. So it's quite handy to have around, really, when you think about it. He's just hilarious. Like, if you're down, he just knows what to do to make you laugh. He's a very nice chap to have about, really, forgetting the fact that he's a dog. But he's also independent, which I love, which encourages me to be independent as well. He understands that he's being funny, so you can have a laugh with him. And, you know, sometimes when we're in public, there's something that happens, and it's obviously tickled him, and he gives me a look, and like I'm sitting there laughing like an idiot, and nobody else has picked up on it, so I look like I kind of lost the plot. But yeah, it's like a little joke between the two of us, and I really like the bond, and I didn't realise that I was going to get that along with all the independence. Eli's nighttime routine basically starts as soon as I come home from work, because he comes in, turns the lights on. Good boy! Okay. Then takes his own coat off and hangs it on the hook.
Go on, you can do it.
And then we basically get ready to go out and have some fun in the field. And he gets to be an everyday dog. Eli, put it on the hook. On the hook, Eli. Good boy, on the hook. Good lad, good lad. Eli's enhanced my life, I would say. I get friendship, I get a responsibility, because with being disabled often in everyday life, it's all about you and what you need. And now I have to think of somebody else, so it stops me being selfish. He just makes me be able to reach a higher level, which in my point of view can only be positive. But the problem is now I want even more, so it's made me greedy as well. But yeah, no, it's good. He's just made me so independent and so determined to achieve. Ready, jump! Over the years, our friendship, our bond has got stronger and stronger, and he does more and more for me, and therefore every time he does something, it kind of feels like I'm doing it, because we've become one, if that makes any sense at all. He's taken a layer away of my disability that I don't even think about anymore. It's fantastic.
You're not doing it now, are you?
It's a killer. It's a killer. I never thought that I was going to feel this way about a dog, basically. It's just the freedom it gives you.
Eli, get the remote.
And that I don't have to worry. Is my hand going to shake? Am I going to drop the bed remote so I can't move the bed? He takes away the stress, and he also gives me like the best friendship I could ask for, because he knows when I'm not going to be well before I do. So he stops a crisis situation of maybe a spasm happening or something like that, which means I'm in less pain. I mean, how can I not love that? You know, it's great. And then on top of that, he's got the incredible personality. Eli, jump! So I don't even think of him as a dog really now. My 2-year-old niece got asked the other day about what Eli was, and obviously we were looking for the word dog, and she turned around and she said, "Just Eli." And I thought that was absolutely perfect. I thought that summed it up. He's not a dog to me anymore. He's just my buddy. We've been together now for 6 years, and hopefully we've got a fair few more years left yet.